We should be going live finally. I think at least. Oh, I think we're live now. What's up? We had a computer problem there, but we're good to go. Testing my audio. I feel like I'm a little quiet. Bump me up a little. Testing. That's better. All right. I think we're good. All right. So we're going through 3 NBA games, and then Toast and Andy are going to come on and talk some college basketball after that. Not even sure how many games they have to get through. First one is Pistons. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah, your audio is good, though.
Yeah, you guys can. I'm going to see if they can. All right, poll is up. Poll should be up. And we are good to go. All right. So, anyway, Detroit at Boston. I have a bet in this game. This is the only NBA bet I have open. I bet Boston team total over. And, yeah, I got cooked a little bit when Tatum was ruled out. Jason Tatum's not playing in this game. I would imagine that you can get a better price with this now. I would imagine. Oh, that's too loud. I would imagine you can get a better price with this now that Tatum's out. You can probably get like a 118.5. I mean, obviously it matters. I'm not saying I don't care. But I still think this is a good bet. So what is Boston great at? Creating wide open three-point shots. They create wide open three-point looks at the highest rate in the NBA. Detroit is 27th defensively in allowing wide open three-point looks. That's in the last 10 games. So you got the Celtics against a defense that allows a lot of wide open three-point shots, which is exactly what they do. We just saw these two teams play, and Tatum didn't play in that game, by the way. Boston hung 130 on them in that game. They should get plenty of shots from outside. I also like the over. There's a couple things I'm a little worried about that kept me off laying the points with Boston. I just took the team total over. There are a couple areas where Detroit may be able to score some points in this game. They run a lot of pick and rolls. That plays into the weakness of the Celtics defense. They're actually bottom 10 in the NBA against the pick and roll this year, Boston. So I think that it's fathomable that Detroit is able to score some points and make it interesting. But I would lay the points with Boston if I was betting aside. But I took the team total over. Like I said, you could probably get a better number than this now that Tatum is out. These two teams just played without Tatum. Boston hung 130 in that one. So 3-point party tonight. Boston scores a lot.
I would likely be with and over in this game if, I don't like Tatum is out. I don't like that Hauser is out too. Talking about 3-point shooting, that's the guy who's going to get him up. Last time they played, he shot 10 threes and he made 5 of them. He had 20 points in that game. So I don't like missing him. But if he was in, I would be on over. What I like in this game, I didn't bet it yet, but got to go back to Old Faithful or at least look at it. K rebounds and assists over 15.5. You can go. So he missed this, I think, on the 4th he missed it on the 3rd or the 4th of this month. And the last time he missed it before that was the 3rd or the 4th of the previous month. He's been clearing this like clockwork. So until they start to raise it, it's very hard for me to get away from it. His average on the season, 16.7. So 15.5 seems like a solid bet for me. I think that's the way I prefer to play the game.
Cade Cunningham over 15.5 rebounds and assists. Chris?
Yeah, I ended up going full game over. It was before the Tatum news, so I got a bad number too. I got 227. I think you can get like 224.5 right now. But we talked about this one last week. It felt like last week. Maybe it was the week before, but you laid out the point, I think, excellently about Boston being able to score because Detroit, they just don't guard the 3-point line for whatever reason. But when I was looking into Detroit being able to score, kind of going off what Ski says, I hate that Hauser's out because Ski makes a great point about that. Boston is scoring about 8 more points per 100 possessions with Hauser on the floor than with him off. But their offense is still really good without Tatum, as you mentioned, Kyle. When I was looking at Detroit offensively in this spot, they've been actually shooting the 3 really, really well. I had no idea until I looked at the numbers. They're actually shooting 47.5% from the 3-point line last 5 games, which is the best in the NBA. Who would ever think Detroit is shooting the best percentage from the 3-point line second best percentage from the above the break three, and that's problematic for Boston because Boston's 2-8 against the number of their last 10 games. A lot of it is due to their defense. They're actually the third worst three-point defense in the NBA right now. 41.7% is what their opponents are shooting, and 42% from the above the break three. So I do expect Detroit to be able to score. Excuse me. Boston isn't a team that turns their opponents over a lot. So I think Detroit will be able to manufacture some points in this game. So I took over. You can get a much better line, but I grabbed it at 227 earlier.
Yeah. Both of us got screwed on the line here. Bet it last night. All right, let's move on to the next one. And the next one is Toronto, Miami. Ugly game. I mean, I looked at it and I actually liked the matchup for Miami, if I'm being honest. But am I about to lay 10 points at home with the Heat? No chance as hell. Against a Raptors team that I feel like this Raptors team is so scrappy and just finds ways to cover the number even when they have no business doing so. So I was scared off the Heat, even though Miami is very good at defending what Toronto's trying to do. They're trying to get out in transition. They're trying to get to the rim. Two things that it's tough to do, especially on the road in Miami against the Heat defense. So I actually think Miami matches up really well against the Raptors, and I think they win by more than double digits, but it's just not a bet I want to make because the Raptors, like I said, they always find ways to cover. So I'll put Miami -10 up. I'm not betting this. No chance in hell. I'm sure the Raptors will find a way, but I would imagine a lot of people are taking the 10 here, and I think it's a good matchup for the Heat. So Heat or pass for me, more emphasis on the pass.
I agree with you as far as, I don't really want to lay double digits with Miami. That's not something I'm really looking to do. The Raptors, I agree, have also been scrappy, but the Raptors are missing Scotty Barnes, and he's a huge part of what they do. And I think he's going to affect the pace and just affect the offense overall. Watching that last game, they were playing a lot faster. They were shooting. He got the green light to shoot as many threes as he wants. He's shooting them early in the clock. He's, when he left the game, it was a lot of just like taking a lot of the shot clock to try to get a good shot for Toronto. So I think they're going to start to slow down the pace without Scotty in there. Obviously, Davion Mitchell is going to add some defense in there as well. He just wants to play defense and set up the plays and get people the ball. For the Miami side, they're also playing slow. They're 27th in pace the last 5 games, and they've been a solid defensive team. So I'm thinking 224.5 might be a little bit too much in this contest. I'm looking towards under.
Well, I mean, whenever I see a Heat game with a total above 220, I'm already considering under. So I wouldn't be mad at that under at 224.5 at all. I'll put under up for Ski. Chris, what are your thoughts?
Same. They kind of correlate with Skis. And I was going to ask you, Kyle, what you're saying about how to know Scotty Barnes, the matchup you like the matchup for the Heat. You like the matchup for the Heat be able to slow down Toronto. Like Ski said, neither one of these teams playing with a bunch of pace. Toronto's offense has been much better at home than it's been on the road. It does kind of seem like under or nothing. The problem is Toronto turns the ball over a lot. So if Miami's getting out and running, like pushing, because their offense is like top 5 last 5 games. A lot of it is due to scoring 140 points against the Lakers in that one contest. But Miami's been, quietly covering games and winning. I think this is what they had the big layover, but I think this is like 4th straight game at home as well. Haven't had to really leave at all. It does kind of feel like they're clicking with all their pieces. So not a game where I'm definitely not laying the points like both of you guys said, but I think I would look a little bit more towards the under with this total coming up. This was at 222.5 yesterday.
Yeah, the reason I didn't would I look towards Miami instead of the under, even though I would lean under, is I think Miami might be able to hit a bunch of outside shots in this game. They're actually top 10 3-point shooting team this year. They're not taking a ton, taking an average amount, but they're hitting them at a high rate. And Toronto started off the year playing decent defense against a 3-point shot, but it seems to have been falling off a little bit. So I actually do think the Heat will cover, but I'm terrified to place that bet. All right, let's move on to the last NBA game. Kings on the road at Pelicans. $231.5 is the total. I spent about 5 minutes on this game. I have no idea. I'll pull up my spreadsheet and take a look. But I last night I looked at this game and I was like, oh, there's no way I'm betting that. Either you guys have anything you want to share for this one?
I agree that I thought this game was absolutely disgusting, and that hasn't changed right now. The Kings, I'll say this, they're healthy, and that's been the main thing for them. As I keep saying, they're a team that's top heavy. The bench, they traded, for DeRozan, etc. So they need all of those guys in the lineup to even have a chance. The Pelicans, I mean, they got a laundry list of injuries here. It just seems like it's that way every single game. But they do have some key guys still in the lineup tonight. Herb Jones, DeJounte Murray. I think that they can play solid defense on both Fox, Malik Monk. And I'm just not into laying until Sacramento proves to me that they're this kind of a team. I mean, they don't even have a winning record. Yes, this is playoff revenge or play-in revenge, whatever it may be, but they're not the team that I trust to win by this kind of a margin. So as bad as the Pelicans have been.
You're not putting the Pelicans +7 up. You want me to put that up, really?
You don't have to put it up.
Do it.
Most of the Pelicans' bad games have been on the road. I think at home they can keep this one respectable. It's Pelicans or nothing for me.
Pelicans or nothing. I'm putting this up, but everyone, it's a strong asterisk or pass. Chris, do you agree? Pelicans or pass?
I'm not laying with the Kings on the road, but I did play the total here. So before you put that Pelicans +7 up for me and they lose by 30 tonight, just put the over up for me. But I would be with Ski, I guess, if I had to play the side. I'm not laying with the Kings. I know that they're coming off 2 really good performances, and that's what I bet on. I bet on their offense in this game. I think the Pelicans should be able to keep up with them as well. I'm looking at Sacramento moving Malik Monk to the bench. Moving Malik Monk into the starting lineup. They got Doug McDermott back. He hit 5 threes in that last game. Kevin Huerter off the bench played really, really well. They scored 144 points against Utah in their last game. And then before that, they played San Antonio. They scored 140 in that game as well. So something is clicking offensively. It looks like the three-point shooting has been good. I think they hit 22 threes in their last game, shot like 50% from the three-point line. And you got a Pelicans team that's playing a little bit faster since CJ and DeJounte have returned, but still not playing any defense at all. So to put this in perspective, the last 5 the last 5 Pelican games have all gone up and over the total. Before those 5 games, the 5 games before that were all under the total. So that tells me that their offense is playing a little bit better. But like I said, not playing any defense. They've given up 118 points or more in 7 straight games. Each of their last 10 opponents have scored 112 or more. So I do think Sacramento is going to be able to score the basketball here. I'm not betting on Sacramento to play defense the way that they've been playing defense against San Antonio and against Utah over the last 2 games. But when I look at the Pelicans last 4 games since DeJounte, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, since those guys have come back, the Pelicans total against San Antonio the other day was 237 points. Against OKC, a very elite defense, they were right at 228. Against Phoenix, 250, and against Atlanta, 236. All overs. I just don't think that they're going to play any defense in this spot. I expect Sacramento to run it up. I expect both teams to try to get out and play with pace. The Pelicans don't have great defenders to be able to slow down Sabonis, so I think the Kings should be able to get it however they want to from the three-point line in the paint. So yeah, I played over. I got it at 229.5 last night, but I still played at 231 as well.
Someone's S thoughts in the chat. It's kind of wanted me make me rescind my heat take. Someone told him Jimmy Butler's out. He's like, who told you that? Gunning people in the comments.
Like he Pat Riley assistant.
Yeah. Jimmy Butler's listed as probable from what I'm seeing, by the way. S thought. So yeah, I put Pelicans up for me. I was just looking at the spreadsheet while Chris was talking. I don't freaking know. I'm not.
What you see that made you put Pelicans +7 up, guy?
Well, the only 2 areas in terms of shot zones where the Pelicans play decent defense is the mid-range shot and the short mid-range shot, and that happens to be where Sacramento takes a lot of their shots from. In fact, they're first in frequency and second and eighth in frequency from those 2 zones. So a large volume of the Kings' shots happen to come in a shot zone where the Pelicans actually have good defensive numbers. It's razor thin. This team sucks, but I was just looking for ways to get to a -7, and there's just no evidence here to support something like that. Also, Kings run decent amount of isolation. They're 9th in frequency. Pelicans top 10 isolation defense somehow. So yeah, there's just not enough there to support the Kings. So I put Pelicans up. But just like Ski, I'm not I'm not. Just don't. If you want to bet this, just know you're doing this on your own accord.
Call the number. Call the number, Kyle.
You're making your own choices here. All right, just 3 games tomorrow. We actually have a full NBA slate. Where
8 games tomorrow.
8 games tomorrow. So tomorrow, these same 2 guys will be back tomorrow. Make sure you check out their YouTube channels and Twitters. Their names are right below their faces there. But you'll see them both back here tomorrow, same time.
Appreciate you, Kyle. Best of luck, Ski. Talk to you guys tomorrow.
Thanks for having me.
Yep.
Later.
Guys. All right. Next up is NFL. Let's get Prop Beaver on. Oh, let's get me back. Hold on. We got to switch over to 2-person. What happened was right before the stream, Prop Beaver's computer wasn't able to broadcast the show. So we had to switch everything over to my computer. That's why we were a few minutes late there. All right. Yeah, I'll just send you the email. All right. Copy link. Thursday. All right, just send it to you. All right, so let's switch the names up here. All right, let's get a poll up. NFL poll. This is a cool game. This Rams 49ers game. The graphic says 2.5. Is this 3 now? I'm pretty sure. Let me just make sure. NFL. Oh, no, it's 2.5. Okay. It's more 2.5 than 3s. So a lot of talk in the YouTube comments about the weather here. I'm looking, and it really doesn't look that bad, in my opinion. Looks like it's going to be raining when the game starts, but it seems like, from what I'm seeing, that it should be gone by the time, like, halftime maybe. Hold on, let me get properly on the screen. Toast, are you in the background? Can you look up the weather for this game? It's not. It doesn't look that bad, right? Yeah. So I okay, got it. I figured the mic situation out too. All right. So, Proppy, you're playing George Kittle, correct?
Yeah, I got Kittle 2 ways. Kittle over receiving yards, Kittle over longest reception. So if you're looking to play the Kittle prop, and if you're on one of those services like, I don't know, Props Like Cash, Outlier, probably looking at the recent history. I mean, it's fugly. 0-6 the yards line, 1-5 to the longest reception line in the 6 matchups since 2021. But I don't really think any of the recent matchups apply. I mean, Raheem Morris was DC for the Rams many of those games. Ayuk was healthy many of those games. Purdy was the quarterback for only one of those games. So I think a lot of that data completely irrelevant. In fact, before 2021, where all that data took place, Kittle owned the Rams. He was averaging 106 yards per game. He smacked the over 6 straight times. So I'm only worried about tonight. And if we're looking at tonight, this is an unreal matchup for Kittle. Numbers may not show it due to them facing some very low usage tight ends as of late, but Rams have struggled to limit tight ends all season. Since week 2, 10 to 12 opposing starting tight ends to face LA have gone over their yards mark, and 9 to 12 have also gone over their longest reception line. They've run cover 3 at the 6th highest rate in the league. And since Ayuk went down, we have seen Kittle be a workhorse against these looks. 4.8 yards per route run is unholy against cover 3. That's first on the team. Nearly 0.2 first downs per route run against this look. That's also unholy. And he's also accounting for 40% of the team's yards against these looks as well. Kittle 5-2 to the over in his career without Ayuk, averaging a whopping 85 yards per game. And he's also 6-1 to his longest reception over, averaging 30 in these spots as well. If we're just doing some line reading, books have his receptions line at 4.5 here, juice to the over. If the guy gets just 3 receptions at home, he's over both of these lines his last 12 or 14 opportunities. On top of that, Kittle in prime time, if you're just looking for one of these bets, if you can only bet one of them, the longest reception line on prime time has been about as automatic as it comes. So really like Kittle tonight in this spot. I know that Kobe Durant being out does come when I placed this bet earlier in the week. That was not the case. So if you did want to target a Juwan Jennings, I don't exactly mind that either. But I'm wrong.
We have an injury update on Dre Greenlaw.
I am not sure. But I know, just in case, I forget what the guy's name is, just in case Radagast Brown is in the thing, a expert line watcher. The line, I believe, moved to 59.5 for receiving yards. That also not rush. Thank you, Andy. Receiving yards for Kittle. And then the longest reception is 24.5, I believe, on some books. Also 22.5, 23.5. I would play long reception up to 24.5. Would play receiving yards up to 60.5. So best of luck tonight, guys. Hope you guys cash out.
All right. Apparently your mic's being weird. I don't know. So whenever the second thing you said might have been weird, but whatever. You got it off. I'm going now. So I placed 3 bets on this game. If I'm being honest, I wouldn't say I necessarily love any of them. I have the 49ers minus 2.5. I have this game. If it wasn't a primetime game, maybe it would be a small bet or just passing. And the weather definitely throws a little bit of a wrench into it. Oh, damn it. 1 second. Let me get your pick back up there. So where the heck are all my extra picks? All right, so Greenlaw's active. Okay, I mean, that helps the 49ers side. The question is, does Greenlaw active all of a sudden mean we can trust the 49ers run defense? Because in the their last 5 games, they're allowing 4.5 yards per carry. They've been getting consistently run on. So does Greenlaw back mean all of a sudden we can trust the 49ers run defense? Because in my opinion, I still think the answer is no. And the Rams have been running the ball. They were searching for that offensive line all year. It was hurt, and it came back, and then it wasn't good at first. They're finally running the ball. Kyron Williams, they're finally getting the run game going. And so you got a Rams rushing attack that's trending one way and a 49ers run defense that's trending the other way. So I think the Rams are going to be able to run the ball in this game. Also, the 49ers, since week 7, one of the worst pass rushes in the NFL. Now, Nick Bosa looks like he might play, right? I don't know if we have any update to that. What I read about a couple hours ago, it looked like he was trending to play, not confirmed. But maybe Nick Bosa being back, the 49ers pass rush will start to resemble its old self. But since week 7, we're talking about 29th in the NFL in pressure rate, 30th in time to pressure. So 49ers pass rush hasn't been good. You got Matt Stafford, who might have the most significant splits in the NFL in terms of when given a clean pocket and when pressured. It's night and day. When Matt Stafford's pressured, it's all red. When he's given a clean pocket, it's all green. 49ers not having a pass rush is huge. If Stafford is going to have these pockets, he's going to piece San Francisco up. So I like the Rams to move the ball. And on the other side, it's a pretty favorable matchup for the 49ers as well. They should have no problem, even without Trent Williams, they should have no problems generating push at the offensive line. I don't even care who's playing running back, to be honest, because whoever gets it isn't going to get touched till he's 4 yards down the field, whether it's that guy Taylor, whether it's Abanikanda. They did pick him up from free agency a couple weeks ago, so maybe Izzy Abanikanda from Pittsburgh. Maybe he gets some touches in this game, but I don't care who's playing running back because I like the 49ers offensive line to consistently generate push. And then as far as Brock Purdy, he's throwing the ball on a Rams secondary that is, without Kobe Durant, it's not a good secondary. It's the weakest element of the team is the secondary, and they're missing, would you call Kobe Durant their best D-back?
Honestly, maybe this season. Darius Williams last season was excellent, but he hasn't been that great this year. They traded Tre'Davious White, obviously. So, yeah, I would probably say this season one of their best.
Yeah, so without Durant, Brock Purdy should have opportunities to make throws. And not that Brock Purdy's been great or anything this year, but he's been great in this spot. I actually have the matchup right here. 1 second. I'm sorry. My notes are everywhere. Damn it. It's not loaded up here. Oh, he's been great against cover 3, which the Rams have been running a lot of. I think since week 8 or like 5th or 6th in cover 3 frequency. Brock Purdy has great numbers against cover 3. So I expect both offenses to work. The reason I spread my money out like this and the reason I'm not overly confident about it, The 49ers since week 8 are 32nd in pace. They're taking an average of 30 seconds between snaps, which is the slowest in the NFL. So I'm sitting on overs here, team total overs with a team that's moving like a snail, which is not a spot I like to be in. Spread my money out, have some fun. I'll probably put down a same game parlay for some fun in the Discord later too. But yeah, that's how I bet it. Half unit on each. Just spread my money out. The poll in this one, 40. You good? Oh, hold on. Let me unmute your mic.
Yeah, somebody just asked about a George Kittle anytime TD. I'm not an anytime TD guy at all. You could ask me about yards, receptions. I could answer you all day. Anytime TDs, I have no clue what a good, bad value is on that. Honestly, I'll put you on Jedi Modai. He's the guy that does all the touchdowns in the world. I don't know if he posted a YouTube video on the game. I'm assuming he did. I just saw somebody had commented asking me about it though. So if you want, I would honestly go to his page or his Twitter and check that out.
Cool. All right, so the poll is dead split, which makes this game interesting. We're talking 45% of the viewers are on the Rams plus 2.5, 44% of the viewers on the 49ers minus 2.5. So dead split down. Even the over-under on the total is split down the middle. We got 6% on the over, 4% on the under. So yeah, this will be a fun one. As far as betting value, maybe not the best game, but entertainment value, this should be a fun one. Maybe do some live bets in the Discord. We'll have some fun because it's not a game I'm like going all in on or anything like that. So that's the way I see this one. Let's move on to some college basketball, which is all right, there we go. All right, college basketball. Let's get Toast and Andy on. You feel a lot sharper sitting in that chair. All right, let me get two. Where's two Andy Toast? Two. Where'd Andy go? Oh, there he is. Okay. I don't think I have a two Andy Toast template set up, so I'm just going to do this, and there'll be a blank thing in the middle. Andy, why does your thing keep disappearing, dude?
I don't know. I'm not touching nothing.
All right, so whatever. I'll put myself back on the screen.
Why do I keep disappearing?
I don't know. Is your internet connection trash right now?
Nah, fam. It's green.
All right.
Nah, fam.
All right. Let me lower Toast mic. It's a little loud. All right. So, guys, go ahead. I'm just Iowa State. Oh, this is a cool game. Iowa State, Iowa.
Yeah. This is. Go ahead, Andy. And he just gone away now.
Is his mic going in and out too, or is it just his thing?
All
right, you go, Toast.
Okay.
Yeah, Andy, leave and come back if you can hear me.
So I'm on Iowa plus 6. I got it on Caesars. 5.5 is fine. I was kind of line shopping for the 6, but 5.5 is fine as well. I guess for me, it's a little bit of a prove it spot for Iowa State. You're not going to hear me say that Iowa State's an overrated team or anything of that nature. They're a very good basketball team. They're well deserving. I know some people have them as the number 1 team in the country, even over Auburn. So the respect for Iowa State, I think, is obviously there around people that know college basketball. I just kind of want to see them prove it to me in a game that's not in Maui, which, again, we talked about this. We've made a lot of jokes on this show about the island rims. I think that your offense, especially in Maui, is always going to look a little bit better than it really is. And now, and besides Maui, they haven't played a game outside of Imes. So, this is going to be their first true road games against an Iowa team that I think is better than years past. If you guys, I'm not trying to make a case that I'm like in the know with the Iowa State Cyhawk rivalry, but you do know, if you do a little bit of research, that none of these games have been close the last 7 years. I do think that, excuse me, I do think that last year Iowa got absolutely ran out of the building. They had a whole bunch of turnovers. They didn't shoot well from deep. I don't think that's really going to be the case this year. I do think that Iowa has done a really good job of not turning the ball over this year, especially compared to last year. And they've been taking a lot of really good quality shots, and you need that against a team like Iowa State. That obviously defensively they're one of the best defensive teams in the country. The question is does Iowa play defense? I mean, obviously they got shredded by this Iowa State team last year. I think at home, I think you're going to get a much better performance. And like I said, this is more of a prove it to me spot for Iowa State because I do think, like I said, with Taylor or however you pronounce that kid's last name, I do think that Iowa's a little bit better than what they were last year, especially defensively. And again, it's just one of those things that I just feel. I don't know. I just feel like 5.5, 6 is a little bit too much. Again, I don't know if Iowa wins this game outright, but again, I just want to see Iowa State show me on an away court in the Big 12 in a conference game. I'll take my chances here with the home team.
Do you know what Andy has? I'll just put it up.
I don't. I don't think he even have a bet for this game, to be honest with you.
All right, let me go look at his ticket, see if he has.
I'm almost positive, but I can run through a couple other ones really quick because I pretty much I did bet the board here today. There's only a few games, and I had a little bit of an edge on all of them. I took Campbell plus 1.5. I took Virginia in the first half minus 8.5. Chattanooga money line. Another one of my favorite bets of the day is UT Arlington in the first half, not the full game, the first half, plus 5.5. Arkansas State coming off that huge win. I think that's a really good spot to get UT Arlington. And then I know this is live and I hate being on record, but I played Texas minus 19.5. I think that they absolutely slaughtered New Mexico State coming off that game against UConn where they looked like absolutely dead ducks the first half, and then they finally looked really good in the second half. I think they look good here tonight. It takes a lot for me to bet a Rodney Terry team, especially minus 19.5, but I think it's right side tonight.
Oh no, I'm not Puerto Rican. I saw the shirt on Amazon. It wasn't. Someone brought it up. Like, I didn't know Kyle was Puerto Rican. No, it's just I thought it was a cool shirt. So I found Andy has one bet open. I literally just went on the website and looked to get it because for whatever reason, we're just having technical difficulties today. This is Andy's one bet. Iowa State moneyline, Evansville moneyline parlay at plus 181. He was about to come and say that on the show. You know what though? Last time we made fun of him, his freaking hit. His SEC moneyline parlay. We were trashing him the whole show, and then it hit.
Oh, I know, but it's still also really funny that his one play is plus 181 and double moneyline parlay. I'm on the other side of both of them. Or no, wait. Yes, I am. I definitely like Chattanooga, but again, Andy knows what he's doing. This isn't like I'm not saying that Andy doesn't know what he's talking about, but Iowa State want to make sense. I'll give him that, but.
All right, let's get out of here so we can fix whatever the hell's wrong with this stream right now for tomorrow. Do we have a midnight stream tonight, Toast?
We can if you want.
I'd say like 3 games is the cutoff. If we have 3 games we like, we'll go.
No, there's a shit ton of games.
Oh, then pick 4 or 5. Let's do it. I'll set it up.
I was going to say, I just didn't know if Andy was available, but yes, 100% we can do a midnight stream.
All right, cool. I'll set it up. All right. Sorry about the technical difficulties today. About to fix everything right now. But yeah. Everyone, have a good one. See you at midnight. If you're in the league, new league starts today. So we're doing a Thursday to Sunday. We didn't do a league this week. We're starting one today. So you have 2 hours and 19 minutes if you're getting in on the league this week. There's 2 bets tonight, a 1 unit and a 0.5 unit. It's pretty self-explanatory. Just go on the Discord or the website and submit your picks for the day if you want to be in.